I've heard this, or I felt this thing vibrate twice, and I don't know if that means on or off, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. It's a good thing. Hello everyone, and welcome to our 13th or 14th episode of Mid-Curve. Today I have on with me the man, the myth, the legend himself, Nam, the true bonk father. Everyone says Joe McCann is the bonk father, but you are the true.
He is definitely the dog father.
The dog father.
I got Troy, who is the dog, I would say, and then I'm a janitor, man. I help clean stuff up. I'm happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you, obviously, for having me on Mid-Curve.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, you were telling me that, like, as we were walking up here, you were doing some back office stuff, carrying a 40-foot inflatable dog across state lines.
Yeah. It turns out that shipping a giant inflatable dog across multiple countries in the next few months is going to be a little bit more difficult than we expected. But solvable problems. We're in a good spot.
Exactly. So I guess, like, let's start with, who you are a little bit. We'll give just a brief background because I'm sure everyone who's watching this knows exactly who you are. But let's give a brief background on who you are and, what Bonk is and why you started Bonk.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Nam. I've been a Solana developer and DGen for coming up on 3.5 years now.
Okay.
Came in, February 2021. Was in a variety of different things, but really kind of cut my teeth helping build out MonkeyDAO as an organization based around the Solana Monkey business NFTs. So I was able to have a leadership position there for a couple of years.
Okay. So were you working with Soul Legend?
Legend, Celon, Jammy, RP, a bunch of all the early guys. I think there's more downstairs will probably be mad that I don't mention them in the podcast, but a lot of early Solana NFT enjoyers, and people who just came together, wanted to figure out how they could help improve the ecosystem and have some fun doing it, right? Making it there. Bonk came out of the FTX collapse, right? October, November 2022, or you go into the point of talking a little bit about, at breakpoint, having the news come out, people are on planes, stuff's going negative. It's like 2 days after the Google announcement that everyone is super hyped on. Terrible timing. And what you have seen in other ecosystems where you have this, black swan flash crash area is you lose a lot of strength and trust in the ecosystem, and you lose capital and liquidity. You can have amazing devs, you can have great artists, you can have people who are making content every single day, but in something that's supposed to be so monetarily powered, if you don't have people trading, if you don't have access to deep liquidity to be able to buy, sell Solana, if token prices are going down and not up, it becomes very difficult to keep that long term. So Bonk was designed to be a Christmas gift in a couple of different ways. So we launched it on December 25th. And Bonk was really designed to be a shot in the arm, right? And it was designed as something that we've seen work elsewhere in terms of like fun, adorable meme coins. But we chose the decision of making it very highly integrated from day one because we just wanted it to be something that people could use anywhere and everywhere. And that's been something we've been continuing with today. So we've gone from 40 integrations day one, now we're up to something like 350 that are seeing significant weekly active users. There's obviously a few that are highlights. So like the guys at BonkBot are doing the most trading volume of any bot right now, more than a lot of L1s or L2s. They're an incredible team. We're super happy to support them. In the same way, we're working on now the charitable angles for stuff like Bonk for Paws. We're wanting to make sure that we're doing a little bit more on like the merchandising brand idea, which I think brand gets tossed around a lot, especially in Solana. But the idea of what do people identify with? What gets them excited? Why do people choose to buy or sell something, or what do they get interested in?
Yeah, exactly. So it's funny you
that was not a short 30 seconds. I apologize. We talked about this.
Yeah. I was. I had like 5 questions through that whole thing.
Yeah.
But the first thing I was going to say was, like, you mentioned like being on a plane. So I was at the FTX event at Breakpoint that year. I was on the plane with all the other teams coming home. Everyone's getting text messages. It felt like the plane was going down. So everyone's running off. Just scrambling. And yeah, you're right. That was not a good feeling, but it was cool, like watching Bonk come out after that, and then like you said, there was like an injection of adrenaline into the space, and like what you guys did for the Solana devs was like I mean, it's awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, like I just want people to use Bonk every single day in as many platforms as possible.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Well, you guys are doing a great job with that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We've taken a lot of lessons from a lot of other teams, including you guys.
Yeah.
Looking forward to a lot more out of Judo as an enjoyer.
You're a judo enjoyer?
I'm a judo enjoyer.
That's a great endorsement, by the way. You all heard that. He's a judo enjoyer.
I had to look into the camera and smile for this.
I didn't pay him to say that. This is unsolicited. So what have you guys, and like talking about like building communities, and like, I mean, obviously you guys have an amazing community, like one of the strongest, like you guys are all over Twitter, all over all these events, but what have you guys done and what did you do early on to really build this cult that you built?
Yeah, I think this is definitely something where it's like standing on shoulders of giants thing. Solana had a very, very strong series of NFT cult-like communities, right? Kaka, for anybody who remembers the Thugbirds Mint, Monkeys obviously are a very tight-knit group of thousands of individuals. These people already were used to being a part of social narratives and movements and understanding the value of being inside of the club and being a part of something and growing it. And you've seen this been replicated with various other tokens, various other projects over the course of the last 18 months. So it's not something that's unique to Bonk, but I think we just continually double down, whether it's, campaigns like what we do for Bonkmas, right? Of just like bringing people back into all these different integrations and rewarding them for being a good on-chain citizen, right? Like if you're somebody who uses Solana every single day, you're trying out 10, 20 different protocols, you've got 18 Phantom wallets loaded up with various different things, like you should be rewarded and protocols should be excited to have you. Like we all talk about this idea of onboarding retail, but you also have to keep taking care of the people who got you here. And you have to make sure that the people who are your power users today feel special, they feel that there's something to always look forward to. For Bonk, we just want to make it a fun dog coin that people can feel rewarded and a part of.
Yep, that's amazing. And you mentioned some good teams there. Like I love Tommy and Taylor.
Yeah.
Like OG builders in the space, Birdmon at like Thugbirds, and like the Monked Out.
Yeah.
I mean, like that was one of the first NFTs I minted. Was an SMB. And I like paper handed it like too early, although it was a great trade, but I should have held on. I should have held it. But it was, I mean, like what you said though is like a lot of these guys have fostered these amazing communities and like continued to do it for years too, which has been insane because a lot of times you just see like if it's like a pump and dump kind of thing, community rises up and then just disappears. But like you guys, even the Thugbirds guys, like it's still around, it's still kicking. Like SMB obviously, or like Monked Out it's crushing it. I was talking with Legend about this earlier today, but like in my opinion, Solana is kind of captured like internet culture on chain, right? Yeah. And I think that's been one of the biggest. It's been the glue that's held everything together for so long. Even through like technical difficulties, people are having fun and they're just like hanging out with the boys in online.
Just with the lads in a group chat working on
exactly.
things. Yeah.
And like Legend said it the other day. He's like, I remember when Solana like dumped to like 8. He's like, we were in a Telegram chat and like we were ready to like say goodbye to our friends. We were ready to ride this to 0.
Yeah, it was a very clear opportunity of just like this could just be over.
Yeah.
Like it could financial black swans, everything that happened like could have just been the end of it. And I think a lot of teams made the bet of like, well, if it's going to 0 already, you might as well try and do something and make there. And a lot of people left or went into the shadows, and then some people. Again, going back to Mert especially, we're banging the drum. So is Legend, right? Of the same area of like, the tech works, the people are here. And for us, for Bonk, we were just like, we wanted to launch something that was either going to help the chain, or if we spent a couple months of our lives at the start organizing it, and it didn't work out, then it didn't work out.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to shoot.
Yeah.
Shooters shoot. So talking about like Solana, like you dumping to 8, coming back or whatever, like. I mean, we've been through ups and downs. I've been with Solana from the beginning, like I heard about Solana from, VC guy in like 2018 or whatever. But like, so I've seen it all. Where do you think, or what do you think we need to do to continue to grow Solana, continue to grow the community and bring people in?
Yeah, so I look at this from the Bonk perspective, right? The easy thing is always like number of transactions, number of holders, things that people are doing every single day. What I see a lot of right now is, I think like right now specifically, people are like, cycle's over, you're getting celebrities launching meme coins and everything around there, it's too much. It's like that's you're just now hitting like the previous cycle top is probably something that's right around here in terms of like what people view as like top signals or indicators. But if you look at how people have actually come into the chain, if you look at monetary flows, if you look at user acquisition, we really haven't seen the upticks in social media presence around things like crypto or Solana in general. You saw a little bit of the degen retail activity return with like Robinhood and GME and a couple of other things a few weeks ago. But in terms of like new people buying crypto or getting exposed to these ecosystems, it hasn't happened yet. And so that can go into two things. One, which is if people aren't using your product, it's not their fault, it's yours. It's either on the marketing side of needing to get it out there in front of them because they don't know about it, or it needs to get improved to the point where it's easier. Right now, I think the act of getting people to understand, like, not just downloading an application that can hold a wallet or financial future, Robinhood and all these other areas have already done that, right? Like, everybody has 18 banking apps that they don't really want to use. What you need to do is be like, no, this is something that excites you, interests you, gets you into the opportunity of where it's something you're going to use every single day. You'll have people who spend 8 to 12 hours a day on their phones through 3 different social media apps, right? And that's because it's a compelling use case that's giving them something that they want. You can spin it however you like and say it in a positive or negative way, but people use their phones all the time, and if they're not using it to play games on Solana, maybe we need to figure out how to market these games a little bit better, or maybe we need to make them a little bit more compelling. You've seen, X to earn style of activities. They get attraction and adoption as long as the token is good, but people don't play games usually to make money. Some people do, but like I love Eve. It was great. It was massively popular for people in that segment, but it wasn't League of Legends, right? Like. You have people who will spend fortunes on Candy Crush, right? And it's not because they're hoping to get an airdrop, it's because it's what they like doing, right? It's something that's interesting, engaging, and exciting for them. So if we want to bring more people to Solana and put these things on chain, we need to figure out how do we stop marketing towards degens and ourselves and the communities that we already have, and start making it something that actually hits that fabled term of mainstream mass adoption, which everybody talks about, and you're seeing now a lot of increases in wallet downloads and things of that nature. So we're trending on the right path, but we need to make sure that these are actually going to become users, not just like passive speculators or tourists. What you don't want is more people who come in, give it another shot, don't really get anything out of it, and then are just like, I burnt money or whatever, or anything there. You don't want it to be your one uncle at Thanksgiving who's just like, do I have any of those Bitcoins still? Like, you want them to be involved and interested and excited. So like, I spend a lot of time talking to my mom and dad, like figuring out what they're interested, what they're excited about in terms of crypto. What do I need to do in order to actually onboard my family members? Not like, here, I'll give you a ledger and a wallet and I'll give you a 15-minute PowerPoint on like how you secure everything there. It's like, what does it take to actually get, my nieces or my nephews to be involved in something? Not to get them addicted to trading, right? But like, to give them a product that they would actually use. And some of that is going to be from the NFT and content side, I think, in terms of animation studios or things that are popping up in that nature. But some of it probably has to come from gaming, social apps, things of that nature. And I think we're just trying a bunch of stuff right now.
Seeing what sticks. Yeah, talking about that, like I kind of think the path forward is to build games that are not like, it's not crypto, like crypto's not forward facing for the game itself. It's just like, it's a part of the game, but it's not part of the marketing, right? So like there's one of the biggest mobile studios in Japan is starting to build games, but they're not saying that it's a crypto game. They're just saying it's a mobile game.
It's not an NFT, it's a digital collectible.
Exactly, because when you, exactly. But when you talk about crypto, like immediately, like people are gonna have an expectation that they're gonna make money on it or something, right? Or it's gonna turn off a whole segment of people. But when you tell them like, oh, this is just a mobile game, just like a Candy Crush or something like that. Oh, by the way, you can also own this asset later on. Like that might be the narrative that sparks like the retail boom in gaming. But
yeah, we have to look into it as like, what's going to take these current gamers, right, and move the needle on what they're interested or excited on. What's going to get people to download something new or to try something out. And that's going to require a lot of experimentation. I think for an industry that prides itself on being like cutting edge innovation, we're really quick to shit on teams that just try something that doesn't work out. And it's like, that's not a negative area. It's like they're going against the grain because they're like conventional, the current things that we're doing to market to various individuals right now it isn't working, right? If it was, every single person right now would be, playing games on their phone utilizing Phantom or some part of the Solana gaming stack or Honeycomb or right, like if we were doing things correctly, retail would already be here. So if they're not, we need to look at it and be like, all right, let's change up how we're adapting it and not put it in a negative light of like, oh, we didn't do the right thing, so we failed forever. It's a continuous rapid iteration cycle. You're having stuff like PayPal coming on for the PYUSD today, right? Adoption of stable coins. You're having Visa, you're having Stripe, you're having all these different platforms that are seeing that this is at least worth trying. It's at least worth being a part of and devoting some considerable amount of their own time and their own resources to building it out. And they're not going to do that for no return on their investment. Like they might see something that we don't right now. So it takes looking at those teams and what they're doing and seeing, okay, how do we row in the same direction? And how can we also, be a part of those currents?
That's interesting. Yeah, I totally agree.
I'm just doing a lot of talking, not answering the questions. I apologize.
No, I love it. It's perfect. Yeah. You're a perfect podcaster.
Happy to do
podcast guest. That's a great place to end it. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, or any other points you want to make before we cut it off?
Mostly, I'm just excited for people to either try out any of the things that Bonk teams are pushing out. If you haven't had the opportunity to try out Bonk really do. It's powered by the guys at TipLink. It's basically designed so that anybody that just an email address, they can become a Solana wallet owner. They can be a holder. It takes them through the entire onboarding process. They can get as in-depth or out of depth they want. If they just want to turn it into dollars or sell it through an off-ramping platform, we work with a couple of great partners there. So it was for Mother's Day. We're obviously going to do more things for like Father's Days and graduation, everything around there. Just check out Bonk. If you like the site, if it helps onboard people, great. If it sticks in any different areas, let us know. We'd love to improve that and continue to push forward.
That's awesome. Man, well, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll end it here. Cool. How'd it look? Did I look good? Do I look small compared to this guy?
Look at your arms, dude. No. You're massive. What do you mean?
Whenever I get around someone like similar size or bigger, I'm always like,
I gotta
sit up in this chair.
Stretch a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Did you grow up playing rugby? Like, is that a big?
No, I was doing like speed skating, swimming, triathlon, stuff like that. Like I was always doing like a lot of like distance kind of sports.
You were a speed skater?
Yeah.
Were you in like the full on?
Please tell me this part is not getting recorded.
Yeah, we're still recording.
Yeah, fuck. This stuff I will have to put an X on.
Yeah, I'll edit it. Yep. I just want to know.
Yeah,
you're like Apollo Ono out there, just
absolutely.
Flying.
Yeah, I did that. Got until I was 17, something like that.
Really?
Yeah, and then rugby just kind of took over.
Dang, dude, that's interesting. What do you do now? Do you play any sports?
So I did boxing for a while, like during and then post COVID, but trying to keep my head in shape. So yeah, I'm competitive by nature, so it got me to the point of like. Wasn't comfortable.
Brain damage.
Yeah. Didn't really want to lose what was upstairs for mid-level fighting career.
That's amazing.
So now it's just a lot of like working out, trying to get back in shape. Yeah. I'd spent the last 2 years traveling and doing stuff for like Monkeys and Bonk, and while that was very fun, I have lost most of the form and everything around there. I'm still lucky to be tall and somewhat in shape, but I'm right now like a very out of shape, in shape dude.
Yeah. Dude, I'm
working on improving that.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get back in shape. I got the dad bod going on. We had a 2-year-old, or we have a 2-year-old, and it takes up a lot of your time. You don't have as much time to like just hang out in the gym for 3 hours a day. You know what I mean? So I've taken up golf, which has been my newest addiction. If you should get into golf.
I am terrible, but I try.
But you should get into it. I've been telling everyone here we're holding a scramble at permissionless.
Okay.
And I want to do it like Ryder Cup style. Like we have a Telegram group going, but like Solana versus Monad. So I have an intern in there.
Yeah, all right. I can get behind that.
See? Yeah. Yes, I knew it.
You should. I assume you're talking to the golfing guys already, right?
Yeah. So we just Legend. This morning was like, hey, you should talk to the golfing guys. I talked to Mike Dudas as well.
Oh, you're gonna love the happy hour merch giveaway.
Oh, you guys are giving V1s, right?
Yeah. The Bonk golf balls, baby. They're good.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, we got the. I think we're printing the Vice, like Jito branded Vice balls for the scramble we want to do.
It is a good pick.
Yeah. So you should start practicing because we need Solana to win.
I'll do my best. I don't know if you want me on anything for points there.
I feel like you could hit the ball a mile.
Yeah, distance is not the problem. It's accuracy. Yeah. I'm very good at overshooting the green by a couple of yards.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm a good endurance and like combative athlete.
Yeah.
You ask me to hit one thing with another, it all kind of goes apart there. Yeah.
Hey,
racket sports, golf. That was my fucking downfall with hockey. Like, can't shoot a puck. I'm gonna be honest.
That's funny because like as a Canadian, I just assumed you were.
Well, you don't have a choice. Like you have to.
You play hockey.
You get skates and a stick, and you're out on an ODR. Like it's not an option. You have to at least learn how to play. Whether or not you're any good, that's a different story.
Have you seen that show? What's it called? Letterkenny.
Oh, I fucking love it. Letterkenny and Shorzy, its offshoot, are very accurate because like a version of each one of those characters in real life.
Yes.
It's very true to life.
Dude, so I used to own a gym and we trained the Winterhawks, which is like the farm team for the Blackhawks or whatever. And these are like 16-year-old kids, and they were exactly like that show. Mm-hmm. Like it was so funny to watch the show and then like have them come in and just act like just hockey bros. Yeah. But I also played lacrosse in college, so like we had our own version of like lax bro, hockey bro. They're pretty much the same thing, like slight differences.
Relatively similar. Right?
Yeah, relatively similar.
There's only so much time you can spend talking about lettuce and how in shape you are and everything. There, you're good.
Lettuce. I'm glad you know that.